Consumer Reports just dropped a bombshell that's sending shockwaves through the entire automotive world. And trust me, no one saw this coming. For decades, this organization has been the gold standard for trust, reliability, and unbiased car ratings. But their latest rankings have turned the entire industry upside down. Some of the most respected automakers, the ones that built their reputations on reliability, have suddenly fallen from grace. Meanwhile, a few unexpected names have skyrocketed to the top, stunning both consumers and manufacturers alike. It all started when Consumer Reports released their newest annual reliability survey, and the results were unlike anything we've ever seen. Brands that used to dominate the charts like Toyota, Honda, and Lexus are now facing fierce competition from newcomers who are rewriting the rules. But it's not just about who went up or down, it's why this happened that's truly jaw-dropping. Because under the surface, this report reveals a massive shift happening across the auto world. One that could change how we all buy cars in the next few years. For years, Toyota and Lexus were considered untouchable when it came to reliability. Consumers trusted them like religion. Smooth engines, bulletproof transmissions, and near-zero breakdowns. But this year's report shows cracks forming in that armor. Hybrid system malfunctions, electronic glitches, and infotainment issues have crept into models once praised for perfection. Owners are reporting problems that simply didn't exist a few years ago. And for Toyota, a company built on the promise of reliability above all else, this is a major wake-up call. Meanwhile, Tesla, yes, Tesla, just pulled off something no one believed possible. For the first time ever, their scores have surged dramatically in key categories. The same company that was once blasted for panel gaps, broken screens, and quality issues is now being praised for consistent software performance and improved manufacturing standards. Consumer Reports even highlighted how Tesla's over-the-air updates are fixing issues before they spiral out of control, something legacy automakers are still struggling to master. It's like watching the student become the teacher, and the entire old guard is sweating. But it doesn't stop there. Some unexpected names are climbing the ranks. Brands like Mazda, Hyundai, and even Buick are making headlines for their sudden reliability rebounds. Mazda, for instance, continues to impress with minimal complaints, proving you don't need futuristic tech to keep customers happy. Just solid engineering and consistency. Hyundai and Kia, once laughed off as budget brands, are now producing some of the most dependable vehicles in their segments, catching up fast to Japanese rivals who once seemed invincible. And then there's Ford and GM. Their results are a mixed bag. While trucks like the F-150 and Silverado remain sales juggernauts, Consumer Reports exposed major reliability red flags in newer EV models. The Ford Mustang Mach-E and Chevrolet Blazer EV were singled out for multiple software and battery system problems. This is a massive problem because these are the vehicles both companies are banking on for the future. If consumers lose faith in their reliability now, that could derail their EV ambitions entirely. But here's where things get really interesting. The report uncovered that vehicles loaded with advanced tech and digital features are actually less reliable than simpler models. Consumers love their big screens and driver assist systems, but these are now becoming the biggest sources of complaints. From faulty cameras to freezing touchscreens and glitchy sensors, the very technology meant to make cars smarter is now making them less dependable. And that's forcing automakers to face a brutal truth. The rush to modernize is costing them reliability, and customers are noticing. Even luxury brands aren't safe. BMW and Mercedes-Benz, known for engineering precision, were called out for rising maintenance issues tied to overcomplicated tech systems. Owners reported everything from malfunctioning digital dashboards to faulty adaptive suspensions. Repairs that cost thousands. It's proof that premium doesn't always mean problem-free anymore. And buried deep within the report is one of the most shocking insights yet. Smaller, simpler, and often cheaper vehicles are outperforming expensive flagships in reliability. Compact sedans and crossovers are topping the charts while high-end EVs and tech-heavy SUVs lag behind. It's a complete role reversal, and it's changing how consumers think about what quality really means in 2025. But the real question is, what happens next? Because Consumer Reports doesn't just influence opinions, it changes buying behavior. Automakers know this. A poor ranking here can tank sales overnight. And this year's findings are already sending manufacturers scrambling to respond, promising new updates, recalls, and redesigns to save their reputations before it's too late. Behind the scenes, automakers are in panic mode. The boardrooms of Toyota, Ford, and General Motors are buzzing with emergency meetings as executives demand answers. How did things go so wrong so fast? Engineers are being pulled off future projects just to fix what's already broken. Reliability used to be something car makers bragged about. Now it's something they're fighting to get back. And this panic isn't just about reputation, it's about billions of dollars. Because Consumer Reports has the power to swing market share overnight. When a vehicle earns that recommended badge, sales can soar. But when it loses that status, it's like a scarlet letter. Dealers start slashing prices, customers walk away, and entire marketing campaigns collapse. One low reliability score can erase years of brand trust. And that's exactly what's happening right now. But while some automakers are scrambling to fix their image, others are seizing the moment. Take Subaru for instance. Their models like the Outback and Forester continue to earn high marks year after year, quietly building loyalty while competitors chase flashy tech. Consumer Reports praise Subaru's focus on mechanical simplicity and consistent safety, something drivers are starting to value again in this age of digital chaos. And it's paying off. Subaru's resale values are climbing, and their customer satisfaction scores are among the best in the industry. On the flip side, EV startups are facing brutal reality checks. Rivian and Lucid, two brands once hailed as the future of electric mobility, received disappointing reliability ratings. Owners reported everything from malfunctioning screens to door handles that refused to open. It's proof that no matter how innovative or luxurious a car is, it still has to work. The EV race has shown that building a powerful battery is one thing, but building a dependable car around it, that's a whole different challenge. Meanwhile, Consumer Reports revealed a fascinating trend. Drivers are starting to care less about flashy horsepower and more about long-term dependability. Surveys show that reliability now ranks as the #1 factor in car buying decisions, even above fuel economy or performance. People are tired of paying premium prices for cars that end up spending more time in service bays than on the road, and that shift in mindset could reshape the market entirely. It's also worth noting how this report exposes the widening gap between what automakers promise and what they deliver. Brands advertise next-generation innovation, but when those new systems fail, customers are left with repair bills and frustration. Consumer Reports found that the most common reliability issues in 2025 vehicles aren't engines or transmissions, they're software malfunctions. Cars today are more like rolling computers, and when the code breaks, everything from the navigation system to the transmission can shut down. And here's the twist, some of the most dependable vehicles are not the newest models. Older platforms, less reliant on digital systems, are proving to be far more consistent. It's almost ironic. The very cars that seem outdated on the surface are actually lasting longer and causing fewer headaches. That realization is shaking up how buyers and automakers view progress itself. Maybe simplicity, not innovation, is the ultimate luxury. Even the insurance industry is paying attention. Unreliable vehicles lead to more claims, more accidents from malfunctioning systems, and higher premiums. So as Consumer Reports exposes these issues, insurers are quietly adjusting their rates behind the scenes. That means if you buy one of these low-rated models, you could end up paying more, not just for repairs, but every single month. But perhaps the most alarming revelation from this entire report is the loss of consumer trust. For decades, drivers believed certain brands stood for dependability. Now, with those same brands slipping and struggling to fix recurring issues, buyers feel betrayed. They're questioning what's real and what's just marketing. And when trust disappears, loyalty follows. Automakers can feel the tension building. Consumer Reports isn't just shining a light on technical problems, it's exposing a deeper crisis within the industry itself, one where speed, innovation, and cost-cutting have taken priority over reliability, quality, and longevity. The rush to electrify, to digitize, to automate, it's all happening so fast that even the biggest players can't keep up with their own promises. And that's where the story takes a darker turn, because this reliability crisis might just be the spark that ignites a massive consumer revolt. Car buyers are starting to fight back in ways automakers didn't expect. Online forums, social media groups, and even TikTok mechanics are exposing hidden defects, sharing repair horror stories, and warning others before they buy. What used to be a private frustration between a customer and a dealership has now become public ammunition, and that's forcing automakers to face a level of accountability they've never dealt with before. Consumer Reports' findings have only amplified this movement. Their report doesn't just grade cars, it validates what millions of drivers have been saying for years, that modern cars are becoming too complex for their own good. And now that message has reached mainstream audiences. Drivers are realizing that paying $60,000 for a vehicle doesn't guarantee reliability anymore. In fact, sometimes the cheaper, less advanced models are outperforming the high-tech flagships. Take the Toyota Camry and the Tesla Model S, for example. According to the report, the Camry, a car that's been around for decades with modest updates, continues to perform nearly flawlessly. Meanwhile, the Model S, despite being one of the most advanced vehicles on the planet, struggles with build consistency and software gremlins. The contrast couldn't be more striking. It's a powerful reminder that reliability isn't about flash, it's about fundamentals. And now, automakers are realizing that Consumer Reports isn't just another voice in the conversation. Their influence can make or break entire product lines. When the organization praises a car, it becomes a sales sensation. But when it slams one, dealerships can't move inventory even with massive discounts. The recent report has triggered what insiders are calling a trust reset. Buyers are turning away from marketing slogans and flashy ads, and instead they're going straight to Consumer Reports, Reddit reviews, and real-world owner feedback before spending a dime. The timing of this couldn't be worse for the auto industry. With rising interest rates, soaring vehicle prices, and shrinking consumer confidence, automakers are already on edge. Add a devastating reliability report into the mix, and you've got a perfect storm. Some analysts are even warning that this could trigger a long-term shift in consumer behavior. People might start keeping their old cars longer, avoiding newer models altogether until brands prove they've fixed the issues. If that happens, the ripple effects across production, sales, and even auto financing could be enormous. And here's what makes it even more shocking. The most criticized aspect of this year's Consumer Reports data isn't just about specific car brands, it's about the industry's direction. Too much tech, too little testing, too many new models, not enough refinement. Companies are rushing to stay relevant in the electric and digital race, but in that rush, they're skipping crucial quality control steps. Consumers are effectively becoming beta testers for unfinished technology, and they're getting tired of it. Behind closed doors, sources say engineers are pleading with executives to slow down, to prioritize reliability over new gimmicks. But the pressure to keep up with the EV arms race, to compete with Tesla, BYD, and others, is relentless. Every quarter, shareholders demand faster innovation. Every CEO announcement promises next-generation features. But every time something goes wrong, it's the customer who pays the price. And that's exactly what Consumer Reports is warning about. That the industry's obsession with new might be destroying the very foundation of trust it was built on. Because when people buy a car, they're not just buying metal and software, they're buying peace of mind. And right now, that peace of mind is slipping away. Automakers are beginning to realize that this isn't just a temporary hit, it's a credibility crisis that could haunt them for years. The ripple effects are already spreading through dealerships, repair shops, and even resale markets. Used car buyers are suddenly more cautious, combing through Consumer Reports rankings before making a purchase. Cars that once held sky-high resale values are seeing sudden drops, while previously underrated models are shooting up in demand. It's like the entire value hierarchy of the auto world has been flipped on its head. And the automakers most affected, the ones that bet everything on brand image. Companies like Mercedes-Benz, BMW, and Cadillac, once symbols of perfection, are now struggling to justify their massive price tags. Consumer Reports exposed how many of these luxury vehicles are plagued with recurring electronic and software issues, causing frustration for owners who expected flawlessness. When your $90,000 car has the same reliability score as a $25,000 Toyota Corolla, something is seriously wrong. The shockwave from this revelation is reaching global boardrooms. European automakers are being forced to confront the uncomfortable truth that their long-standing reputation for engineering excellence no longer guarantees reliability. Meanwhile, Japanese automakers, once the benchmark for dependability, are being pushed to reinvent themselves before it's too late. And American brands, who were just starting to regain trust after years of recalls and scandals, now find themselves slipping backward again. But here's where the twist comes in. Consumer Reports isn't just tearing automakers down, it's also showing them the way forward. The data reveals something powerful. The brands that stayed focused on refinement over reinvention are the ones still winning. Mazda, Subaru, and even Buick didn't chase trends. They perfected what worked. Minimal glitches, solid engines, fewer gimmicks. These brands aren't flashy, but they're earning loyalty through consistency. It's a lesson the entire industry seems to have forgotten. And it's not just about hardware. Consumer Reports analysts have noticed a major shift. Owners are now judging vehicle vehicles by software stability as much as engine reliability. Think about that. 10 years ago, no one cared how often their car's software updated. Now, a single frozen screen or broken driver assist feature can destroy a vehicle's reliability rating. The modern car isn't just a machine, it's a constantly updating computer, and the companies that can't keep their digital systems stable are losing fast. Tesla's rise in the latest rankings proves this perfectly. For years, they were infamous for quality control issues, but their relentless software refinement is paying off. Over-the-air updates have turned what used to be serious mechanical concerns into fixable bugs. It's a futuristic advantage no traditional automaker can match yet, and as Tesla's reliability improves, it's putting enormous pressure on the rest of the industry to adapt fast. But this sudden shakeup also raises a question. Has the entire idea of what makes a reliable car changed forever? In the past, it meant your engine started every morning and your transmission didn't fail. Now, reliability means your sensors work, your cameras don't glitch, your infotainment doesn't freeze, and your autonomous features don't misread the road. We've entered a new era of car ownership, one where reliability is measured in lines of code as much as in pistons and valves. And that's exactly what Consumer Reports is warning the world about. Cars are evolving faster than the systems designed to test and ensure their dependability. The technology is racing ahead, but the quality control process hasn't caught up. That means more recalls, more frustrated customers, and more brand damage in the years ahead, unless automakers change course right now. The real danger isn't that cars are breaking down more often, it's that consumers are losing faith that automakers can fix them. When people stop trusting a brand, it doesn't matter how fancy the new model is. The damage is already done, and as Consumer Reports' latest findings echo across the internet, one thing is becoming crystal clear: the auto industry's old rules no longer apply, and the more you dig into the details, the clearer it becomes. This is more than just a bad year for automakers, it's a reckoning. Consumer Reports didn't just drop a ranking list, they exposed a pattern showing how the industry's obsession with constant innovation, touchscreens, digital dashboards, semi-autonomous systems, is slowly eroding the very foundation of what drivers actually want: reliability, comfort, and peace of mind. Think about how cars used to be built. Engineers spent years perfecting mechanical systems before releasing them to the public. Now, models are rushed out the door every 12 months with new features that haven't even been fully tested in real-world conditions. The result? Software updates, recalls, and frustrated owners who feel like they paid to be guinea pigs. And Consumer Reports just held up the mirror, showing the industry exactly what that reckless pace has done. What's even more concerning is that this reliability collapse isn't limited to one region, it's global. European luxury brands, American EV startups, Japanese mainstays, and Korean innovators all are facing the same problem. Cars have become rolling computers, and when those systems fail, even the best engines and transmissions can't save them. This isn't just about cars breaking down, it's about technology outpacing the ability to make it dependable. But the deeper question Consumer Reports is forcing everyone to confront is this: have automakers lost touch with what consumers actually want? Most drivers don't care about self-parking features or augmented reality dashboards. They care about getting from point A to point B without worrying if their vehicle will malfunction halfway there. And that's why these rankings hit so hard, because they've revealed just how far automakers have drifted from the basics. Now, some companies are starting to wake up. Insiders say several automakers are quietly scaling back on complex digital features in upcoming models. They're cutting down on touch-only controls, bringing back physical buttons, and reworking software to make it simpler and more stable. Why? Because Consumer Reports just proved that customers don't want futuristic chaos. They want functionality. The automakers that adapt fastest will survive. The ones that don't, they'll be left behind. But the shock doesn't end there. For the first time, Consumer Reports highlighted that many EVs across multiple brands are experiencing higher than average reliability issues compared to gasoline vehicles. Everything from charging system malfunctions to power electronics failures are becoming common complaints. That's a massive red flag because EVs are supposed to represent the future, yet their dependability is falling behind. If automakers can't fix these problems fast, consumer trust in electric vehicles could crumble before mass adoption even begins. Behind the scenes, investors are already taking notice. Analysts are warning that automakers' stock values could suffer if these reliability concerns continue. Some hedge funds are even shorting shares of companies that were specifically called out in the report. That That's how powerful Consumer Reports' influence is. A few lines in a reliability survey can shift billions of dollars overnight. Meanwhile, dealerships are caught in the middle of this storm. Salespeople are fielding tough questions from customers waving their smartphones, showing screenshots of the latest rankings. Why is this car rated so low? Why does this model have more problems than last year's? It's becoming harder to spin the story. Consumers are more informed and skeptical than ever before. And here's the chilling part. Even if automakers fix these problems tomorrow, the perception damage could last for years. Once a brand is labeled unreliable, it's nearly impossible to shake that stigma. Just ask Volkswagen after Dieselgate or GM after their ignition switch scandal. Consumer Reports' reliability rankings have now become the ultimate truth test, a single score that can define a brand's reputation. But under all the panic, there's a growing realization. Maybe this shakeup was necessary. Maybe the car industry needed this wake-up call. For too long, automakers have been chasing trends instead of trust, pushing out half-baked technology instead of perfecting what matters most. And now, with Consumer Reports exposing the consequences, there's finally pressure to rebuild, smarter, slower, and stronger. At the end of the day, this isn't just about rankings, charts, or scores. It's about trust. Consumer Reports didn't just shake the car industry. They reminded everyone what truly matters to drivers. Reliability isn't a luxury, it's a promise. And right now, that promise is being tested harder than ever. Automakers can flood the market with futuristic tech and sleek marketing campaigns, but if the cars can't be trusted, none of it means a thing. This report might go down as a turning point, the moment when the auto industry finally hit pause and asked itself, are we building cars for people or just for progress? Because the truth is, consumers are speaking louder than ever before. They don't want more gimmicks. They want confidence. They want dependability. They want to feel safe in what they drive. And if the industry doesn't listen now, Consumer Reports' next report might not just shake the market, and it could shatter it entirely. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown insightful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into the biggest stories shaking the car world, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Which automaker do you think will recover first? Until next time, drive safe, stay smart, and keep your eyes on the road, because the auto industry is changing faster than anyone expected.